Hi, today we're going to talk about sleep. So part of my summer edition of these videos is a reminder about the importance of sleep and to make a case for doing some different things that can really encourage optimal and effective sleep. Because not all sleep is the same. I know sometimes we just think about getting 8 hours of sleep or, even 6 hours, right? But there are ways that we can get really quality sleep and then ways that we can maybe disrupt our sleep. And then we end up feeling either more rested or more tired after the same number of hours of sleep. So I'm really encouraging you right now because I know this summer can be a time where we actually get the least amount of sleep. We think, oh, summer relaxation, but the sun is out later, we're busy, schedules are thrown off, we're trying to pack in activities maybe before going back to the fall schedule. So I'm just going to remind you about the importance of sleep because on our mental health, sleep is so important. We know that if we don't get good quality sleep, where our brain is getting into the lower stages of sleep, and I'll go over that in a minute, we're not able to make the neurotransmitters that we need to feel good, right? The serotonin and norepinephrines and the dopamines and all those happy, good chemicals that we hear about, or sometimes people even have to take medication to help with. We don't get those if we're not getting good sleep. And even taking medication, we can't actually utilize the medication if we're not getting good quality sleep. I always kind of describe the metaphor like trying to pour a glass of water into a cup from an empty pitcher. If you've got medication that's helping you maybe to make more serotonin, for example, an SSRI, it only helps you to hold that serotonin in your brain longer to utilize it, right? So it doesn't actually produce it. So if you're not getting good sleep, the part that actually helps you make that, then you're trying to, get more of something when in fact there's nothing there to pour out, right? So you're pouring into a glass hoping to get more and there's nothing in the pitcher, right? It's an empty glass because you have an empty pitcher. Whereas if you're on medication and you have a full pitcher, you can pour extra out, right? And some of us are on medicine, some are not. But either way, sleep is going to be super important for your mood. So a few key tips to think about with your sleep, and just to emphasize the importance of that effective sleep, right, is going to be, what do we do before bed? How do we promote healthy sleep before we even get into the bed, even try to fall asleep, right? So just really think about what you're doing to set yourself up well. Are you getting up at the same time every morning? A lot of times we think about bedtime, but it's really the time that we get up each morning that sets our clock and tells us when we're going to be ready for bed the next night. So trying to get up the same time every day or within 30 minutes of the same time every day so that we're not throwing our body off by 2, 4, 6 hours constantly. That can be really helpful to keep us sleeping well. Also, before bed, winding down, thinking about what time you're hoping to go to bed can help you to set maybe a reminder in your phone or an alarm that tells you, hey, it's about 30 minutes before I want to go to bed. I need to do those things to tell my brain that I want to wind down. We can't talk to our brain the way that we talk to each other. We can only talk to it through behaviors. So we might tell our brain, hey, I'm thinking about going to bed in about 30 minutes by doing a set of routines, brushing your teeth, putting on pajamas, turning the lights really dim, turning off electronics so you're not getting that bright light in your eyes. Remember, electronics have what's called blue light, which can make your eyes see really bright lights, vivid colors, almost feels like you're staring at the sun. So turning those off, switching over to something more calming, looking at magazines, books, talking with someone, that's why they call it pillow talk, right? Whatever it might be that you need to do to wind down. Maybe take a hot shower. Those are good routines before bed. Hot shower is especially good because it will actually help the internal temperature of your body lower, and it mimics what happens when we fall asleep. Between the first couple stages of sleep, our body temperature, our core temperature starts to drop. And so if we take a hot shower, the outer part's hot, our inner core will start to drop. It can mimic that and help us sleep. So it could be something to add in your sleep routine to maybe pick out like 30 minutes beforehand to take that shower, or 45 minutes ahead of time. Again, trying to do the same thing every night so that you're talking to your brain and letting them know, I'm about to want to go to sleep. That's really helpful to get the best night's sleep and to be able to tell your brain to start releasing the calming chemicals like melatonin to be prepared for sleep. You also want to make sure you've got a comfortable bed, a good pillow, the temperature is right. Maybe setting it so that the temperature's cooler at night so you don't have to keep throwing off your blankets, pulling them back on, throwing them off. Making sure that you've shut out light, that the noise is going to be in a good place. Taking that extra 5 minutes to just go around and do those double checks can make for a great night's sleep, can make you feel so much more refreshed in the morning. You can feel like you got hours more sleep even if you actually got 5 minutes less because you walked around and had to turn off lights and change the temperature. So really thinking about ways that you can promote good sleep right before you go to bed. You also want to think about, are you exercising during the day? Are you getting your body, in a place where it's healthy and happy for sleep? Not eating right before you go to bed, so you're not digesting too much right before bed. Those are all going to be really important things. Alcohol can also affect our sleep, so if we're drinking a lot before bed, it's going to disrupt when our rapid eye movement or our dreaming type of sleep happens and how much of it. So that can also affect you. You might want to start, cutting back on that or taking days off from that. And even smells can be important. Some people fall asleep better if they have certain soothing smells. You might think about getting a spritzer or having something by the side of your bed that helps tell your brain again, oh, when I smell this, it's going to be time for bed. These are all great ideas. I want to tell you a little bit about the sleep cycle, if you're still with me here, because I did mention that earlier. And I think it's helpful to know the science behind why sleep is so important and why really healthy sleep matters more than just the number of hours. So our brain, when we're sleeping, goes through 4 cycles. So the first couple are real light sleep. That's the kind of sleep where if you're on the couch dozing off, someone says your name, you wake up, right? Or you're still laying there thinking, am I actually falling asleep yet? You start to feel like you're falling maybe. Those are those early stages of sleep. So your brain has to go through those first to get into the deeper levels of sleep. Then it goes into the deeper sleep where your brain waves actually change. See, the slow wave sleep is what we call it. If we're watching your brain waves, we'd know when you hit that because they completely change. That's the deep restorative sleep we're looking for. That's what helps promote your immune system. It helps your body to regenerate and heal. It helps to be able to make those neurotransmitters. All those things are happening during this deep level of sleep. And then, of course, there's the rapid eye movement or REM sleep, where your eyes are going back and forth really quickly, and we're often dreaming. And sometimes we remember it, sometimes we don't. But again, these are the deeper levels of sleep, those last 2. And we cycle through these several times throughout the night, a few times to, several times, depending on how many hours of sleep we're expending in bed. And so we want to be able to get through that because each time you're getting more and more of different levels of sleep, the deeper levels of sleep. So this is the reason why we want to really try to promote not just getting to bed and being in the bed for 6 hours or 7 hours or 9 hours. We want to really think about, while I'm in bed, am I getting really good, efficient sleep? Am I winding down beforehand so that my body's in the calmest place possible to be able to get into those deeper levels of sleep? Okay? Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it's a good reminder to you to prioritize your sleep and start focusing on that. I will put some links for good tips and tricks for sleep if you need more and want to read up on it in the comment section. And you can always visit me on my website at www.drkinthebay.com. And if you're in California and you're looking for a therapist, you can always email me as well, drkinthebay@gmail.com. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.